Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back this week to talk all things sewing bee. I hope you've had a good week and you watched the show last night. It was a blooming hard one. So for anyone, if you haven't watched the show yet, do not watch this video, go and watch the show and then come back because there's lots of spoilers. So the theme of last night's show was sort of lingerie and sleepwear. Quite tricky, not gonna lie. Anyone else watching that thinking, oh thank God I'm not making that? So the first challenge was a bustier, which is kind of like a corset, but the difference is that the bustier, I can't say it without sounding like an idiot, doesn't have corsetry at the back to cinch it in, so it's made to fit, so it fits you with hook and eyes. Pretty tricky. I've got a couple of patterns which I think would be nice options. Neither of them are perfect. I couldn't find anything that wasn't fully corseted at the back. Well, I suppose actually one of them is semi. I'll show you and see what you think. And then I've got some really great options for the final challenge, which was a sort of sleep set. So I'm gonna get cracking. So the first one, yes, was this bustier. I just felt really sorry for them. And did anyone else? I don't know about you, but I watch sometimes when they pick what fabric they're going to use. I'm like, oh no, why did you pick that? And even definitely in the sleep set section, I was like, guys, why have you made life so difficult for yourself? Has anyone else, sorry, this is a little side note, has anyone else watching it thinking, I would have picked something much more simple so that I knew I could get it finished for the final challenges? I always watch them and I'm like, I don't think I'd have picked anything that really challenged me. I'd have picked something that I knew I could get finished. Anyway, that is another whole conversation altogether, but let me know what you think, because I've definitely been watching it being like, really? 4 hours? Are you sure you're going to get that done? So the two patterns that I have got for the bustier, the first one is a Butterick 6338. I picked this because this shape was the closest to the original. It had a 3-piece cup on the bust, which this one does, boning down the front. It is corseted at the back, which means that obviously it's going to look a bit different. But if you wanted to completely recreate it, you could just make sure that it fitted properly and add the hook and eyes down there rather than using the corset to cinch you in. This one was definitely the closest. It's obviously historical, so it's got that quite dramatic curved hem, but you could obviously straighten that off if you wanted to. Yes, the indie version that I thought was a nod to it, got a bit of corseting along the same vibe, was the Grace top from Named Clothing. I put this one in because actually I thought if you wanted a summer top that had that feel of that sort of corseted feel but not too full on, this would be a really lovely option. It's obviously a little bit different, but it definitely has the feel. I love the big ties at the top on the shoulder, and it's got really nice it's got the boning down the front, and then the back is quite interestingly cut. I'll show you the line drawing so you can see. Yeah, I thought this would be quite a nice little project actually, because it's not too involved. You could get it whipped up fairly quickly, I reckon, and perfect for this lovely weather we're having. I'm not going to talk about weather, but it's lovely, isn't it? Right, so the middle challenge was the upcycling challenge, where they were given 2 items of sleepwear, a pair of pajamas and something lacy, and they had to mash the two together. There were some pretty wiggly wild outfits. I'm sure everyone who watched it thought the same. And then the final challenge was the sleep set challenge. Now I guess because they all actually picked quite similar things, and I can see why in some ways, because I think anything with sleeves or proper pajamas would have taken too long. But again, the fabrics they used, I was definitely like, oh, ooh. But I think I've done really well. Rachel and I were pretty pleased with ourselves for this week. So we've got some absolute crackers, and I think there's definitely a few which are spot on. So the first person is Matt's Silky Sensual sleep set. Love the names. And yeah, so this was a little camisole, pair of shorts to go with it. The thing that made it different to a lot of the other ones is it has this band of lace underneath the bust, and then the whole of the bust is lacy. So it was quite a full-on sort of make. I think this one is spot on because I saw a slight, they panned across and we saw the cover of the pattern. So it's not the number, I will add, so I had to go and hunt, but it's the Vogue 8888. And yeah, and I'm 90% sure this is the exact one that he used. This one comes with lots of variations, so you can get it comes with a night dress, 2 different dressing gown options, the little shorts, so it's quite a lot of bang for your buck, this one. But yeah, this one was definitely right and I was pleased with it, and if you're looking for a nightwear, this is quite a nice option because you get lots of other things with it. The next person I'm going to talk about is Ali's leopard print sleep set, and unfortunately Ali went this week, and I'm sure you all, the bit in it where she cut through her top, I have done that so many times, and I just really felt for her because there's that moment where you're just like, well, you just basically want to swear because you're so livid at what has happened. I thought she did manage to hide it quite well. The pattern that we found, which I'm pretty sure is spot on, is the Vogue 9218. I could see from, I was literally stopping and pausing. I could see from her pattern that it said Vogue on it, and I could see that it said 92 to start with, and I couldn't find the other 2 numbers, but as soon as I saw the line drawing for this, I knew that it was right. This also comes with a dressing gown option. There is a dress option. There's also a pair of pyjama bottoms, so you do get quite a lot with this one too. Yeah, this one was really nice, and I really liked again, another thing, she was like, I'm going to cut it on the bias, and I was like, no, don't do it, Ali. But and all the different fabrics, it just made me, actually watching it gave me sort of anxiety. Next up, we have got Nicole's baby doll sleep set. So this, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Nicole either uses solely vintage patterns or she drafts the patterns herself, because every week we're really struggling to find what she creates. So any intel would be very helpful. So this was like a sort of baby doll. It had a kind of wide straps, square neckline with a sort of a band that came round, and then lots of gathering, quite sort of 70s feel. I've got 2 options for you. So the first one is a vintage pattern. It's the Butterick 3313. You can see from this it's got the same neckline with all the gathering. You could totally use this as your starting point. I think this would be easy. There are a few of these kicking around, as I say, each week on eBay and Etsy, so you can definitely find this one if you want it. If you can't find it, I've got a modern pattern which I think you could definitely use as well. So it's the Vogue 9255. I'll show you the drawing, the particular version. You can see here it's got that square neckline and it's got the gathering. This is supposed to be worn more as like over your swimsuit, which I think would look really nice, but I definitely think you could use this as the base if you wanted to recreate it. Just whip off the sleeves and add a bit of ruffle. But yeah, so I thought they were a bit harsh on her about the fit. I mean, it wasn't perfect at all, but they really went for her, which I thought was a bit mean. Next up we had Mark's Winciette sleep set, which made me howl with laughter. This one, it was like, I mean, to be honest, out of all of the sleep sets, that's probably the one that I'd quite like to sleep in. So it was made with brushed cotton, so it would have been really cozy. I was really proud of myself. We've got an exact match for this one. It is a vintage pattern. It's Style is the name of the brand, and it's 3767. You can see from the picture it's almost spot on. The only thing that he's done is he's shortened the trousers and added just short. Actually no, there is a version with a shorter trouser. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with that because that's definitely right. It's got the pleats down the front, it's got the drawstring, so yes, that one was spot on. That did take me quite a long time to find, but I was quite chuffed about that. Next up, I'm banding together Claire's and Therese's patterns, well, sets, because they're so similar and I couldn't find the perfect one for Claire's vintage one. So Claire made a sort of 1940s peekaboo sleep set, and Therese's was the floral cotton one. Therese's one, I know, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure, is the Fifi pyjamas from Tilly and the Buttons. It's got the, the way she made it, she had the contrast binding that went up kind of on the straps and down the side. It has the little pleats underneath the bust. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know the pattern for that. Claire's one is pretty similar, I have to say. It's got the gathering underneath the bust. The shorts that she had was slightly more flared than Tilly's ones, but I definitely think if you wanted to recreate that, you could use this pattern. So who have we got next? We've got Peter's abstract cotton sleep set. This one definitely caused me a bit of strife, but I think the pattern, it's not perfect, this one, but it's pretty close. It's the Burda 7186. It's got the wrap over at the bust. The only thing that it has which you'd need to remove is it's got darts underneath the bust, which I think you could just leave out and make it a bit more loose fitting, which is maybe what he did, because the rest of it looks extremely similar. Yeah, so I was quite pleased with that one. Last but not least, we have got Liz's Comfy Goth sleep set. This was made out of jersey. I thought actually this was a really clever route to go. You get a lot less fitting issues. It looked really nice and actually probably was the most comfortable one out of all of them. I'm pretty sure this one is right. So it's the Butterick 6031. It comes with a little short option. I think it is this one, but it's every time is always a guess. Very, very similar if you wanted to recreate it. And it was a really nice, I thought that one was actually the one would be the most comfy to be in bed in with the jersey, because it would stretch with you. Yeah, so that is it from us this week. I was really, really sad to see Ali go. I just felt sorry for her. She just had, those, I've definitely had it where everything just doesn't quite go your way sewing wise, and yeah, it was a shame to see her go because she's obviously a really talented maker. Yeah, so next week is sounding, actually they didn't really tell us what the theme was, but it's recycling week, I think, and it's sounding quite bizarre, so I'm looking forward to seeing what is on offer for us. I hope you found that good. Do go and check out the blog post, I should say, because there is lots more stuff on there. There are all the patterns featured, a few extras that I haven't spoken about, and also lots of techniques that they used in the show. If there are relevant blog posts that we found that might be useful for you in terms of that, then yeah, so it's kind of packed full of good stuff, so it's definitely worth going and checking out. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and we'll be back soon with another one. Bye!